What's going on? We finally made it. I've had to record this about 5 different times, but I think we've got it this last try. So, today, we're going to be playing through some Oblivion. This is a game that's been out for a long time now. I think 2004, 2006, somewhere in there. But, damn, if it hasn't been a great game. I mean, even with Skyrim, I come back to this game all the time, and I'm honestly glad to be back. So, we're going to jump in, and we're going to watch the opening cinematic here.
I was born 87 years ago. For 65 years, I've ruled as Tamriel's emperor. But for all these years, I've never been the ruler of my own dreams. I have seen the gates of Oblivion, beyond which no waking eye may see. Behold, in darkness, a doom sweeps the land.
Damn.
This is the 27th.
I remember seeing this as a kid and thinking, holy shit, there's no way graphics can get any better than this.
Closing days of the Third Era and the final hours of my life.
Like, holy shit, dude, this gives me so much nostalgia from this. Last time I played this was 3 years ago, so it's been a minute. And I mean, even now, dude, I don't know if they remastered it when they did the backwards compatibility on Xbox. That's what I actually played this on, and I don't know, the game just looks fantastic. Like, it held up so well. Makes me think they did some actual retexturing though, because some things look better than games that come out nowadays. Alright, so the first time I recorded this, my recording software wasn't running correctly, and I ended up with a hour-long video with no audio, aside from what was captured in-game. So I actually sped up the character creation. Believe it or not, I spent 20 minutes coming up with our character here. So I've condensed it down to about 5 minutes. I couldn't decide what I wanted to be. Originally, I was going to go with a Khajiit because I wanted to do a, like a fast, stealthy Dark Brotherhood build. But I do that almost every other time, so here, yeah, you'll see me go in and contemplate. But yeah, what we're going for here is, just bullshit build, right? So I like to make a hand-to-hand character because it actually makes the game pretty hard. You really get fucked on early on. So I went with the Breton because it had the most stupid-ass human-looking face, and it gives me a lot more options to fuck around with it. And I basically I brought almost every slider to whatever extreme was offered. My goal here is to make the saddest person I could. We're going to go for a sort of frog creature, little fishman. Right now, you see we're working on this chin right here. We want a nice shelf so that you can sit it on a rock if it's, too hot. Honestly, to this day, it still blows my mind that you're able to fuck with your characters so hard. I mean, A lot of games, you know, your character creation, they don't offer you the ability to just completely destroy their face. I think Dark Souls is another game that's really good about it. I mean, you can almost make a fucking totally new race of creature here. I mean, look at that fucking forehead, boy. I was trying to get every feature about as angular as possible. Really just bring his face, condense it to the center, and remove any features that would make him otherwise human. So, what we're going to do with this series is that this is going to probably be the longest video we have. I didn't realize how slowly my computer was actually going to render these videos, so I'm going to try and condense them to about 30 minutes, 35, just so I can actually get them out and not have to wait literally hours to actually get a video up. So at the time of this recording, I've recorded a couple episodes, so I'm going to try and bang these out. And, you know, I don't know. Who knows? As the series goes on, in the meantime, I might try to do, you know, work on my intros, stuff like that. So some of these earlier videos are going to be a little rough cut, but it's all good. It's all good. Content's going to be there. So that's what we're going to focus on, is actually getting shit out. And our boy here is going to be the protagonist of one hell of a journey. It's been a while since I've taken a step into Oblivion, and I'm just glad to be back in a familiar setting. I know it sounds silly and cliche, but it really does feel like coming back home or something, you know. I've probably put more time in this game than any other game if I had to guess. This and Fallout 3 and like Pokemon or something, you know, something that I've spent years playing. But this game, you know, it's one of those games where you can come back and it still feels fresh, you know. I mean, you can always do some stupid shit. You can always do things differently, and you know, same with Skyrim, same with all the games. So our name's going to be Sargundus Sklips. I couldn't fit an S, so we're going to be just Sklip. I couldn't decide on a good haircut because, well, nothing really seemed to really look that good on me. So I ended up going with just a real basic cut here. I'll let Sargundus do the talking. I don't need any flashy hairstyles or anything that's going to make me stand out, you know. I'm a very modest man. And, I mean, there's no real proof that I feel any emotion at all. Alright, so yeah. Let's get this rolling, baby.
Pale skin, snotty expression. You're a Breton. The masters of Magica, right? Nothing but a bunch of stuck-up snobs with
Parlor
cheap
tricks.
parlor tricks.
Alright, let me actually adjust this audio
Let's see
because
who
it's a
make those
little
bars
loud.
disappear. No? What's the matter?
That's better.
Not so powerful now, are you, Breton? You're not leaving this prison till they throw your body in the lake. Oh, that's right. You're going to die in here, Breton. You're going
I'm pretty sure you can come back and kill that guy.
Hear that? God.
Like, you can actually break into the prison once you get out. And I'm pretty positive he's still in his cell.
We don't know that, sire. The messenger only said they were attacked. My job right now is to get you to safety. What's this prisoner doing here? This cell is supposed to be off limits.
Usual mix-up with the watch.
Like, look at all the textures, man. They look pretty decent.
Stand back, prisoner.
You know, like,
We won't hesitate to
the
kill
lighting
if you
even
get
doesn't
in our
look that
way.
bad.
No sign of pursuit. Stay put.
Good.
Like,
Let's
aside
go.
from, like,
We're not
static
out of this
elements
yet.
lacking any, like, shadows or, like, definition,
You.
the game looks
I've
solid.
seen you. Let me see your face. You are the one from my dreams. Then the stars were right.
Hello.
This is the day. Gods give me strength. Assassins attacked my sons, and I am next. My blades are leading me out of the city along a secret escape route. By chance, the entrance to that escape route leads through your cell. I am your emperor.
What a fucking
Uriel
coincidence.
Septim. By the grace of the gods, I serve Tamriel as her ruler. You are a citizen of Tamriel, and you too shall serve her in your own way. Perhaps the gods have placed you here so that we may meet. As for what you
In
have
case you
done,
didn't know.
it does not matter. That is not what you will be remembered for.
So you're gonna have to excuse some of the hiccups in the recording. I like right now I'm staring into
So
fucking
you-
Grandpa's eyes because
Sire, we must keep
I
moving.
probably had to go. I probably stepped away from the game, and I haven't edited down the video because what I'm having to do here is do live commentary over the video playing in Premiere. This is the easiest way. It's not the best, but I can get the video done sooner, and that's the goal here. Man, I used to try over and over to get up here on this ledge to get jump on these guys that are coming out this door, and yeah, that guy snuck past me. But yeah, I used to try so hard to keep the captain alive. Like, I was convinced if I could just keep them from moving, I could keep her alive, but never once. So, right off the bat here, I decided to go hand to hand, like I said earlier, because it offers a lot more challenge. And I know you can adjust the difficulty and get plenty of challenge, but
Don't worry, son.
there's something about playing just on the average difficulty that the
They won't be
game
the
starts
first to
by
underestimate
default with,
this blades.
and
Take point. Let's move.
eliminating any benefits you might have
Don't try to
in the
follow.
game, because the difficulty scaling in this game, I'm pretty sure all it does is actually just increase the enemy health pool, damage, maybe the actual like you might be level 2 and certain enemies that you wouldn't otherwise see may appear. I'm not sure, because basically the game operates on like a level cap system. It just runs in the background. You wouldn't even notice it. But like, let's say an example would be like armor. You don't unlock certain types of armor until you're a certain level. So you could theoretically play the entire game and never once encounter like the best armor in the game, because I've finished the main story and only been like level 4, right? So one of my first playthroughs, I didn't understand the leveling system. Basically, you pick, it's a little different from Skyrim. So in Skyrim, whatever you use, your level will rise for that selected tribute. So like if you shoot a bow a lot, your archery skill goes up, right? So in this game, it's the same, but you only have, I think, 7 or 8 selected tributes. And those attributes are the only ones that, once they increase, are going to actually like accumulate towards leveling you up, if that makes sense. So basically, if I want to level up with, like, if I want my hand-to-hand skill increasing to actually level me up, I have to use that as one of my select attributes. It's not like in Skyrim where everything can accumulate for your overall level, right? So you lose a little bit of flexibility in Oblivion, but it kind of makes you, I don't know, it forces you to be a little bit more creative and pick and choose what you want. Because, I mean, you can level, you know, let's say your hand-to-hand to 100, and if you don't have it as a select attribute, it's not going to affect your character level. And I mean, nothing's preventing you from doing that. You can have 100 across the board on every single skill, you know. Nothing's stopping you from getting better at anything in particular. But if you don't have this select skill attribute, like I said, you won't actually level up. And that becomes a problem if you try to cheese the game like I figured out you can do. So basically, to increase your level, you know, even if you're going to do, like, let's say a warrior build, and you're going to use just block, heavy armor, weapons, no magic, I always recommend starting with one of the different schools of magic. So alteration, mysticism, destruction, restoration, etc. Pick one of those. Ideally, like alteration or mysticism, because basically you just spam spells over and over and over and over again, like outside of combat, and those skills will slowly level up, increasing your character level because they were one of your select attributes. I hope it's all starting to make sense. I'm sure some of you already know this, but for anyone who's watching who's never played this, that's why you're going to see me just spamming Starlight in a little bit here, because basically I'm just working on my mysticism skill, and the goal here is to increase my character level as fast as I can. The reason being is that I want access to, you know, I want to get access to better gear, because with this build, we're going to be pretty fucking flimsy. It's going to be really hard to, like, looking back on it, I probably should have been a Nord, because I could still mess with his appearance, but I think they're just inherently a little beefier. But because I decided to go with like a speed acrobatics class, we went with Breton because it's kind of just a easy middle ground. I don't know. There's some magic resistances, I think. I don't know. I can't remember. This game isn't quite as complex as Skyrim. Everything's pretty like certain races have pretty static attributes, and they don't really play a huge role. I mean, if you want to go for like an ultimate build on something like speed or acrobatics, definitely go with a Khajiit. I think you start out with additional points towards those two skills, but I think that's it, really and truly. And most of like the I think a dark elf, you can summon a ancestral spirit to fight by your side, but most of those skills are one use spells. So I mean, really and truly, I don't use that shit. Maybe like if I was playing on a higher difficulty, where I need every little thing I can get, but for the most part, we're not going to have too much trouble staying alive. We're definitely going to have to cheese a little bit, because what's going to happen is as we spam our spells to boost our level, our other attributes like light armor and our hand-to-hand, so our offense and defense, are going to be still at a low level. You know, they're going to be as if we were still level 1 or 2. But in addition to better gear spawning at a higher level, certain types of enemies start to spawn. So like you won't encounter certain enemies early game until you reach a certain level, period. So like Minotaurs, I think, don't occur to like level 30 or something like that. So what's going to happen is we're going to be level like 10, but if we're not careful and we don't dedicate enough time to increasing our offense and defense, we're not going to be able to deal enough damage or even survive the hits from the more powerful enemies, right? Because we're not naturally just growing stronger. We're actually just, like I said, we're just going to kind of cheese it a little bit so we can get through it faster. I do this on every playthrough. It ends up working out because basically what I'll do is I'll pick, like I said, mysticism or something. In this case, I believe I picked mysticism and restoration. This is primarily because restoration, obviously, we're going to need that to keep us alive. But the mysticism, with us being able to spam that, that's really all we need, right? So we can get our illusion up and to boost our mysticism to a certain point. And once we hit a certain, like level 50 or so in mysticism, that unlocks journeyman level spells. So stuff like invisibility, for instance. Stuff that's going to be really useful to us. Because there's going to be situations where we're going to be underpowered and we're going to be facing enemies that are a higher level, or, well, equal level to us, but much higher damage capability. And we're going to need to sneak around a little bit. Maybe, I'm not making sneak a primary attribute, even though that's another one you can kind of cheese to get your level up. Literally just walk around fucking crouched everywhere for a little bit. But I didn't want to waste one of my slots for that. We can still sneak in the background and get better at it. So it's not a big deal. Yeah, so as these videos go, moving forward, these videos will be a bit more organic. I'm not going to do this voiceover commentary. I will be doing commentary, but it'll be as I play, not after the fact. So I won't feel the need to fill the silence. It'll all just happen, naturally. I chose to include this intro portion. Originally, I was going to just show character creation and then just jump right into it. But I thought I would use this time to kind of explain the build and just set the foundation for anyone who has no idea what this game's even about. A lot of people never even played this. I found out just asking around. A lot of people, Skyrim was their first Elder Scrolls experience, right? I started with this. I played a little bit of Morrowind, but after playing this, Morrowind felt like it was, everyone was made of fucking cheese and just moved around like they're broken. It just didn't. It is a little too old for me. I hate to say it, but I know there's some people in the comments that might even shit on me for that.
No,
Everyone
he is not one of them.
Everyone claims Morrowind's the best one, right? Which I really think it comes down to which one you grew up with, because I think this one's the best one.
Understand why I trust you. They've not seen what I've seen. How can I explain? Listen, you know the Nine, how they guide our fates with an invisible hand. I've served the Nine all my days, and I chart my course by the cycles of the heavens. The skies are marked with numberless sparks, each a fire, and every one a sign. I know these stars well, and I wonder which sign marked your birth.
So yeah, we get to pick our sign here. There's like 3 or 4 that are honestly viable for any particular build. Like the warrior, obviously you'll get boost to your attack and defense. The steed, you start with a boost in speed. A lot of these, like I said, are like one-use spells, and we're not going to need them. I mean, some of them like that might be useful every once in a while, but I feel like those benefits don't outweigh, like the apprentice and the mage. If I wanted to go with a mage build, there's no reason to pick anything else really. The extra like boost to your overall magicka, and getting just like raw stats on the board early on helps a lot more than I think these like one-time use or like daily use spells. I don't know. That's my opinion, but I'm sure there's 1 or 2 in here that people have used and found that they were actually really useful, like the Atronach or I know the Lover's really popular in Skyrim.
Signs I read
I've never
show
ran
the end of
my
my
class with
path.
that, so I can't
My
say.
death, a necessary end, will come when it will come.
This guy's so fucking pessimistic.
Your
At least he's
stars are not
accepted
mine.
his
Today,
apparent
the
fate.
steed
I don't-
shall speed your
The
progress on the
the
road to
beginning of the
destiny.
game has a few holes in it. You know, like I mean, they kind of just leave it up to interpretation. They don't really go
My
into much
dreams
detail
grant me
explaining
no
this.
opinions of success. Their compass ventures not beyond the door.
There are a couple books,
in
but they
your
have
face, I
zero
behold the
relation
sun's
really to the
companion.
game.
Dawn of Akatosh's
There's a couple of
bright glory
references,
may
but
banish the coming darkness. With such hope, and with the promise of your aid, my heart must be satisfied.
oh, I had to take a big chug. Hey, yeah.
No trophies of my triumphs precede me, but I have lived well, and my ghost shall rest easy. Men are but flesh and blood. They know their doom, but not the hour. In this, I am blessed to see the hour of my death, to face my apportioned fate, then fall. I go to my grave. A tongue shriller than all the music calls me. You shall follow me yet for a while. Then we must part.
Okay. So, straight up, I wish this guy was alive longer. Because I think his writing is actually better than pretty much anyone else's in the whole
You
fucking
may as
game.
well make yourself useful here. We're the Emperor's.
Thanks for the
Although I
torch.
admit, things are not going according to plan. My job is to make sure the Emperor gets out of.
Got it.
Stick close and let us do our job, and you'll be all right.
So, after playing through this a couple times, you have two choices here. You can try to get ahead of them and catch the enemies off guard, or you can just kind of sit back and let it happen. I don't recommend, like, here I'll actually interact with these enemies at first, but you'll see me fuck off once they get in the picture, because if I accidentally punch one of those dipshits, for whatever reason the AI can't comprehend
Not much
that
farther.
it was an accident, and they will attack me. And so, out of interest in not having to double back and constantly save before each fight, I just let them do the thing. Little extra boost in this fight it's not worth fucking with those guys.
For the Emperor!
And it's not like in Skyrim where you can just put your fist away and they'll stop fucking with you. Like they will just kill you until you're dead. There's no saying sorry. I think you can punch them like once or twice by accident, but after a few times they're gonna turn on you. I'm gonna be grabbing potions and scrolls and shit because we're not gonna need a ton of money in the game, but at some point I'm gonna need to buy a house, and yeah, so we need a little bit of cash, but nothing crazy. So basically, just picking up potions and scrolls,
Looks clear.
and any like decent armor, like anything enchanted we find on dead bodies, will probably be good enough. Money honestly isn't super important in this game. It is and it isn't, right? It doesn't have to be.
Damn it! The gate is barred from the other side. A trap!
What about that side passage back there?
Worth a try. Let's go.
Like honestly, I think I'm playing the game not quite around 50%. I think it defaults like at like 40 or 45% on the slider.
It's a dead end. What's your
That's the
goal?
interesting thing.
know.
It's
I don't
it's not
see
like
any
a
good options
easy,
here.
normal,
They're behind
hard,
us. Wait here, sire.
insane difficulty
with the
level.
Emperor.
It's
Guard
a
him.
literal slider
For the Emperor!
that as you increase or decrease, the game runs whatever algorithm to figure out how strong your enemies are going to be. And that's why I think it really just
I can go no
gives the
further.
enemies
You
better
alone must
stats.
stand against the Prince of Destruction and his mortal servants. He must not have the Amulet of Kings. Take the amulet, give it to Joffrey.
And
He
aside
alone
from, like-
knows where to find my last son. Find him and close shut the jaws of Oblivion.
What an epic fucking last words that was. But yeah, there's no real benefit to increasing the difficulty aside from making it more of a challenge, right? So there's no increase in experience or anything like that. It's all the same. All the drops are determined upon your level. So there's no point in playing on super difficult because honestly, it's pretty fucking hard. And
sacred symbol of the Empire.
I haven't played this game in long enough to be able to just jump into hard again. So we're going to be running at a respectable 45%.
But
And you'll see later what I mean. So yeah, we actually get to pick our class now, which is where the bread and butter of the whole game really is. Because you're actually confined to the skills you pick, this is actually really important. So these are all presets. And what you can do is, we're going to do a custom class, but you can select one of these presets. So like here in a moment, I'll select the, I think it was the scout, and whatever preset you select, when you go to actually make a custom class, that's what your little background, like those little art pieces will show on your page. It doesn't really matter, but I think the art they did for each class is awesome. You know, it's got that old feel to it. It's perfect for just the entire setting of the game. So when I first came through this, I was a little confused as to, I was having to refresh my memory on how the class setup actually worked. This part here is your specialization. And as you see, combat magic stealth, as you hover over each individual specialization, you have a list of skills. You're basically just going to start with a plus 10 increase to any of the skills in that category. So we're going to go with athletics, hand-to-hand, acrobatics, a bunch of different cross specialization skills. So this part's like it's not a big deal. Plus 10, yeah, like real late game when you're level like 70 to 80 plus. 10 is a big number, but early on it's not that big of a deal. Get whatever helps you out with on the most select skills that you intend on using. Which I didn't realize until I think around this time. Yeah, you're going to see me pause here to really do some hard thinking. Like I said, you got to be kind of careful with the different things you choose to invest in, because you might find yourself really limited down the road with the kind of character you want to create. Especially if you're not planning on cheesing the system and spamming your spells. It's going to take you a long ass time to level up if you don't pick the correct skills for your main 7, I believe. It's 7 or 8. And same with this part here. It's just a plus 5 to each one. Just to kind of like further condense your specialization. Give you little initial bonuses, but it's not a huge deal. This part. The next part's really the most important one. Also, sorry this microphone is not the best. I'm working on a replacement. It's too sensitive. Like if I don't set the gain to where it is now, you wouldn't be able to hear me, but I can hear the crinkle in the seat as I adjust. Okay, so here, like I was saying a million times earlier, this is the important part. Okay, so you select 7 major skills. You start at a higher level with each of them. In addition, you get those plus 10 or plus 5 from your different specializations. I went back because I realized I wanted to go ahead and, like athletics and acrobatics, stuff like that, it's a little harder to level up. Especially, well, not hard, but like it just takes time. Also, I apologize if I repeat anything in this or in later videos that I said here. Like I said, I'm doing this. I don't know. I'm like 5 or 6 episodes in, coming back and recording this. I'm having to sit through the entire hour-long video to record this, so I didn't want to have to. I didn't want to be held up by this, so I decided to go ahead and just knock it out, get it done, get everyone introduced to our protagonist, and get everyone hyped for this fucking ultra build we're going for here. So yeah, athletics, acrobatics. Acrobatics you increase literally just by jumping. Athletics just by running. I was trying to choose which skill tree or which school of magic I wanted to choose because it's not super important, but I was just trying to decide what spells would actually be useful to me. Obviously, we go hand in hand because we're going to be slinging these little meat slabs all over the place. Slapping lips left and right. Light armor because we're going to get banged around a lot too. So it's nice to just have that leveling in the background. We're going to get some bonuses. I can't remember if your speed is affected by your armor like it is in Skyrim. If you're at a low level. I couldn't remember, so I played it safe with light armor. There's a very good chance it has nothing to do with how fast you can move. So I might end up actually wearing heavy armor later on for that extra defense because honestly, like light armor in this game does not provide much defense until you get like up into like elven stuff and better. Also, like I said earlier, I went with restoration because we do want to get access to those higher level healing spells. Take my word for it. We're gonna get fucked on several occasions. Not at first, but kind of just right after the beginning. We're gonna start encountering like mountain lions and shit and trolls, things that do a shit ton of damage early on if you don't have decent defense. This system is a little bit prohibitive in terms of like making one guy who's just great at everything. You can do it, but not if you want to increase your level the whole time. But the one thing I do like is that it forces you to be a bit more creative with the skills you invest in. And it kind of forces replays because you're going to fuck it up. There's a chance I'll fuck it up, and I've done this I don't even know how many times. I've started probably, 20 or 30 different characters at least and played anywhere between 3 and 200 hours with the different ones. So this build is known as Ficius Ripus. Once again, we ran out of space, so I made the executive decision to make it one word here. Okay? That's now canon. That is part of the overarching lore that we're going to be going for here.
Really? I would never have guessed.
Oh, really? No
Still,
shit.
I don't think you'll have any trouble with rats and goblins. You must get the amulet to Joffrey. Take no chances, but proceed to Wayne Priory immediately. Got it?
Yes, sir. Oh, damn. I guess I was taking a shit again. We'll get out of these caves one day. We're only 40 minutes in. No big deal. Y'all, if anyone's watching this, you clearly have nothing else to do today. So, thanks for coming along. Like I said, this intro is going to be a little rough, but it's all good, baby. It's all good. We're here together, and that's really that's all that matters to me. You can rub my legs when I get tired. Alright, so we're technically still in the tutorial phase. We gotta clobber some goblins. I think... Sorry, I'm trying to remember. Yeah, so we're gonna slap these bitches around a little bit. These particular goblins don't stand a fucking chance. And once we get out of Shitsville here, I'm gonna do one dungeon before I call this video quits, because this particular dungeon, I've made it a habit to raid immediately, because you get access to a couple of things that can make you money, as well as some early experience and a little bit of gear too, so we're not just flopping around naked. Here you're given an opportunity to make sure you got all your ducks in a row. So if you fuck up the first time, do a little bit of research in between and confirm that's what you want to do. But yeah, we made it. Tutorial complete. Congratulations, you've made it this far. So yeah, as per tradition, we're gonna jump here in the water, swim on over to these elven ruins and ruin a lot of bandits' day. We're already getting stronger too, baby. And that's what this whole journey's about, is growing together. I just wanted you to see me slap the lips off of every man, woman, and child I come across and have fun doing it. Our first real victims. I'm gonna go for fucking Peter Pan here first. A little poison arrow too. Sneaky little bastard. Yeah, these two didn't stand a fucking chance. Early game with hand in hand, there's something like uniquely satisfying with how your hits connect. You know, you do so much. Oh god damn. Looks rough, buddy. He's unfazed. But yeah, your punches really connect. Like, you can feel it just knock them the fuck out. And that's another reason I like to run hand-to-hand builds, because it's so much fun. It's more satisfying than just cleaving through people with a big-ass sword. It is and it isn't, you know. I'm trying to go for a real lightweight build here too. I want everything to be streamlined. I want these fists to sing, baby. Early on, I spent a lot of time also refreshing my memory on how the menu system worked. It's not complicated in any way, but it's a little convoluted. Another reason I'd like to come here. We'll take every point we can get, honestly. Especially with stuff like hand-to-hand, any combat skills, or like destruction magic. You got to make contact with an enemy to actually gain skill. Unfortunately, you can't spam your destruction magic and get any increase like you can mysticism or anything that affects your character, right? So that's really the name of the game here. Anything that affects you or someone else will increase your level. So if you just cast off Firebolt into the air, it doesn't do any damage to anybody. It's not helping you out.
If it's a fight you want,
Come on, boy. What you got? You sound suspiciously like Boris. God. Easy peasy. That's one thing that cracks me up after playing, or after not having played for a while. The voice acting. It's fantastic, but they only had, I don't know, apparently like 10 fucking actors to do all the voices for every NPC. Anyone who's played this already knows exactly what I'm talking about, and I'm sure those who haven't know what I'm talking about. Skyrim is even notorious for it, and this is on a whole nother level. Come on, bitch. She's actually putting up a little fight. It looks like she threw a weapon down. She wants to even the playing field here, I guess. Damn, you see that tiger strike? Whew. I got one too, boy. She's just buying time so our teammates can come save her, but it's not gonna happen.
You'll never take me down.
I'm gonna knock you the fuck out. Oh. Oh my god. Got her in the lip. Yeah, fucking pose. Yeah, we'll run some fur just for a little extra defense. It's not much at all, but we'll take what we can get. So this iron shield here, I think if you play... Like, I don't know if you are already like a high level by the time you get here or what, but sometimes that's a banded iron shield. And I've noticed it like even early on, because a lot of times what I'll do is before I even come down here, I'll sit outside at camp and just spam my spells and come down here at like level 5.
Not be tolerated.
Alright. Oh my god, stood no fucking chance, dude. Wake the fuck up. Good lord.
Will not be tolerated.
Alright, let's do it, Miss Lady.
Fall
Damn, her axe is
before
covered in
me,
blood already. Good lord, look at me. Sargundus feels no pain. God, another one. So we'll see if we can loot a little bit. Like I said, we're not going to focus too much on looting, but if there's a chest, I'm going to touch it. These are part of a quest later on, but I'm pretty sure I just saw them. They're worth like 75 a pop. It's not much, but shit accumulates, man. Where you going? 3 fucking hits and you're done, bro. See, anyone wearing light armor in this game is subject to shit, getting completely shit on.
You want? It's a fight you'll get.
Yeah, let's see it then.
The best you can do.
Also, don't judge me. I'm getting my hands right. Gotta make sure. Got this dumbass backed in a corner. Just getting my timing right. It's all practice, boy. Dude, she's eating it though, man. She's had at least 6 on the chin. Trying to go for that overhead fucking coconut club. Alright, say goodnight. I think I got her in the jugular. Yoo-hoo.
Well,
Oh, yeah, she's... Golly, boy. And we got a skill increase. I'm not going down there because if I recall correctly, there are little spirits down there, and I don't have any reliable magic aside from, I think, basic firebolt and like shock touch, maybe frost touch. I don't want to fuck with them. You can't hurt them with regular weapons, being all ethereal and whatnot. Oh, side note, these bricks. So I cannot say for 100% certainty here, but I'm pretty sure these bricks only occur in this dungeon. Like, I haven't found them anywhere else in the game. I know it doesn't seem very significant, but I think it's funny. Like, it's almost as if they put them there and then just forgot later. They forgot to have bricks anywhere else. Because you'll see them on the ground, but you can't interact with them except for those. I used to take one and keep it in my pocket for good luck. But we don't want all that weight. Yeah, we're actually nearing the end of the video here. So I'm going to do a little bit of outro for you. Basically, our goal here is to make the goddamn fastest fish fist in the land. Make everyone regret even coming across our path. So, with that said, we're going to conclude it here. Thank you for being a part of this with me. And thanks for putting up for this shaky little bit here at the beginning. It gets smoother, I promise. Thank you again. Have a nice day, and goodbye.